Hi, good evening. My name is Kathryn Calder, and I'm going to perform, like they mentioned, in a few minutes. But first, I just wanted to introduce myself. I grew up here in Victoria, born and raised. I'm probably most well known for my work with the indie rock band, the New Pornographers, and I joined that band 8 years ago, and I've been with them ever since. 7 years ago, our family was dealt a terrible blow when my mother, the rock of our family, Lynn Calder, was diagnosed with a terminal illness that I had never heard of before. This illness is called ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, and it's a motor neuron disease. It affects the motor neurons in the brain, and so for reasons we don't yet understand, the motor neurons stop sending signals to the muscles, and one by one, the muscles stop working. So in my mother's case, over the course of 3 years, she lost her ability to walk. She was unable to sit up. She was unable to hold her head up, move her arms. Her fingers that used to so effortlessly glide across the piano keys when she played her favorite Chopin nocturne just kind of curled up and didn't move again. She eventually lost her ability to swallow. She lost her ability to speak. And ultimately, 4 years ago, she passed away because her respiratory system shut down. ALS leaves you totally aware of what's going on around you, and you just watch your body deteriorate. It is a terrible, terrible disease, very grim, dark. Having said that, my mother was always very quick to laugh and had a wonderful sense of humor. So I just wanted to share a little anecdote with you that might give you a little bit of insight into her personality. So nearing the end of her life, I came into Victoria Hospice, where she was, and to find her surrounded by a bunch of nurses who were helping her get out of bed into her wheelchair, which was an ordeal in and of itself, and they were going to take her down the hall to help her dye her hair. My mom had very little control over what was going on around her, but she wanted to look her best for her friends who were coming to visit, and she wanted to make sure her hair was the right color. Who can blame her? Who can blame her? And so it's really a testament to the staff at hospice that they're so busy, and yet they knew this small gesture would mean an enormous amount to my mom. But I found it particularly amusing because that was what my mom did. She was incredibly good at rallying people behind her and getting things done. And, I just remember walking in and going, of course she did. Of course she convinced these nurses that this is how they wanted to spend their morning. And I swear that most of it is because she spent most of her working life as a school teacher, and essentially that is what she did all day, was convince people to do things. So to back the story up a little bit, when my mom was first diagnosed, I knew that I wanted to do something special for her, and she'd always been such a huge supporter of my music that I decided I was going to dedicate an album. I was going to write my first solo album and dedicate it to her. And so we turned my mom's living room into a makeshift recording studio so that I could be close by and help out if needed, and that's how we recorded the album. And she loved the album. She listened to it every day. Needless to say, the staff at hospice knew it very well. And about a year ago, I was contacted by an organization who had heard the story behind the album. They wanted to help, and so we've been making a documentary for the past year about ALS and the surrounding story. And so I would like to, and over the summer we raised $66,000 to help get it out into the world. And that made me very happy, of course. So I'd like to play the trailer for you now, and then I'll come back out with my friends and we'll sing for you. Thank you. Thank you. This next song is off my first album, and I recorded it while I was looking after my mom. And I would record the songs and then take them in for her to listen to, and she would inevitably, every time, tell me that the vocals were too quiet. And I go, Mom, it's rock. It's rock and roll.
you guys don't mind, we're going to borrow Kathryn.
Please welcome the new Pornographers, everyone.
It's a really great rock and roll story.
You kind of knew that Carl wasn't going to really have someone come in who wasn't really good.
And they're going, that girl's awesome, because she was doing like the playing piano with one hand, bass with the other hand, and singing.
The new Pornographers is such a joyous event, and she's a perfect fit for that.
We were just getting together, and it was, I remember her like starting to cry.
She had some real life stuff that was threatening to monopolize her life, and we could see that a mile away.
When her mother was diagnosed with ALS, this Victoria-based singer who was touring with the new Pornographers suspended touring to come home.
Her muscles were not working, but she didn't realize it.
It's called motor neuron disease in the United Kingdom, maladie de Charcot in France. It's also known as Lou Gehrig's disease in the U.S.
ALS melts your muscles away. It shuts down the systems that are supposed to keep your muscles growing healthy and strong, and when they're not being told to do anything, they melt away.
They don't have a real way of diagnosing it aside from if it progresses.
It's a fatal disease, usually taking between 2 and 3 years to kill somebody.
Like, what is there to say, you know? There isn't that much to say.
It was so hard on Kathryn that she became a full-time caregiver.
Feeding, putting them to bed, washing them. It's very, very emotionally difficult.
She started to become less independent, started, leaving the house less, and then kind of watching everything just go, downhill from there.
Sort of as a gift to her mother, Kathryn set her mind to making a solo album.
Your mom is dying, and you're trying to make this art before she dies.
They had the living room all mic'd up. And so they'd do a take, and then Kathryn would go for 15 minutes or half an hour, tend to her mom in the next room.
That had never occurred to me that it wouldn't get done because it had to get done.
She didn't use the recording as an escape from what was going on. She used it to plunge herself further into the grief and pain.
You really get to know somebody when they're really sick. And I really feel like I saw her bravery the most.
This disease brings out the best of what people are capable of.
There's the reward in ALS. You see these phenomenal families.
I dedicate this concert to everybody who knows anybody who's ever had ALS.
You can't help but think of the strange endings and beginnings of life, you know?
Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. I'm very excited to play these songs for you. The first one is off my second record. It's called Turn a Light On. And then it will be followed by 2 songs that are from the first album. And we'll get there. Tune your voice to the sound of chaos and carry on your way. Turn the watch to 1 and watch it climb. Turn the dial to 1 and wait your turn. Anytime you want, I'll be your gun. Anytime you want. Ooh. watch it go. You wander in when it's almost gone. So what's the use if you missed it all? We'll make the rounds, but what's the use? Turn a light on, 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 turn a light on. Thank you. This next song is called Arrow, off the first album called Are You My Mother? And it's about finding the strength that you didn't really know you had. A hollow metal arrow fell to the water. It must have come down from the blast. I gave it to you, and I watched as my sandcastle slowly was turned into glass. It lit up like a beacon. The shine was so strong that it took me a while to adjust. It took up my house and split me apart. So I found a place on the grass. Fire away, I'm still here in phantom waves. Fire away, I still have my better days. Fire away, what more can I do but say fire away, fire away. A shallow river by the road smoothed its edges and turned it to a skipping stone, and me by the shore. I noticed that day made me older than I was before. You say I'm too sad. Well, I happen to like it. I happen to like you too. Fire away, I'm still here in phantom waves. Fire away, I still have my better days. Fire away, what more can I do but say fire away, fire away. Fire away, I know all your tricks and your foul play won't work on me anymore. Fire away, what more can I do but say fire away, fire like to introduce my wonderful friends who are playing with me. This is Liz Reed on vocals, Lane Arndt on guitar, and we forgot our tambourine, and so the crew went out and bought us one, so I thought that was very sweet. Thanks, crew. And it's been so great to be here, and what an enormous amount of work to put all this together, so thank you. Read a story from your sleeve, I'll tell you everything I need to know. Turn and thread into a verse, we sit and watch the fallen turn to earth. Quietly as autumn comes, the days are getting shorter one by one. Waiting here for you, spinning on a shelf. I'm wasting my time waiting for myself. I hide my hands behind my back, my fingertips, they hold a secret. I have to hold it lightly though, be very careful not to break it. I'm holding on to something lost, I should just let go and move along. When I'm fast asleep, it flutters in my palm, and by the time I wake up, it is gone. Slips away, 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 slips away. Hide my hands behind my back, my fingertips, they hold a secret. I have to hold it lightly though, be very careful not to break it. I'm holding on to something lost, I should just let go and move along. Fast asleep, it flutters in my palm, and by the time I wake up, it is gone. Slips away, slips away, slips away, slips away.